It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hey everyone, welcome to rAVe TV. What is the industry's maybe only weekly live Pro AV TV show?
The only one.
Is
yes.
it?
Yes.
Gary says it is, but I was like, we don't know for sure. What if we get sued?
It's the only one.
He's like, we're not
Just
going to get sued. That's true. It's the industry's only weekly live Pro AV TV show, and we're here at ISE. It's day 4, as you can probably tell. And joining me is Tim Albright because Gary has left us. He's
so final.
He's alive, but he just didn't he just wanted to leave the show.
Yeah.
He was here for like a couple days.
Yeah.
And he was on every other day, but he was like, all his appointments were done, so he just beased out for today. The rest of the rAVe team is here though, so you'll see us around.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, you've been seeing a lot of us this week. Our meeting rooms are next to each other, but it's been a good thing. So how has this show been for you?
I very good, just generically. It's the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was a crush of people.
Yeah.
Quite frankly.
Yeah.
And that for the show organizers and quite frankly for you and me, that actually is a good thing. Yes, it's difficult to get through the halls, especially the second, hall 2 and hall 3, where they're very large halls. But it's been a really good. There's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good show.
It is good energy. It is very, very busy. We're in hall 3 right now. This is Lang AG's booth, by the way, which is very, very cool. They have this whole installation here where you can sit on a bench. It's very inspired by Gaudi. They took a lot of Spanish art influence to make this look so cool. And this is actually very cool to the touch. This video wall structure here, and then this one behind us is curved because they're showing that they can either curve it or do concave. But yeah, it's been cool. I don't know if I've seen any piece of technology though that completely blew me away though. That's maybe that's what I feel like is missing.
There is. That's been happening for a couple of years where there's small iterations. There's a little bit of growth every year. There's a couple of things that I'm taking away from the show. One, quite frankly, and it's difficult for me to say, and that is Shure's video bar.
No, that's so true because the last thing we want, and I've talked about this video bar all week long, and everyone is like, it's a video bar though.
Exactly.
But the problem is it's not the video bar, it's that Shure is doing it.
And how they did it. You got 4 4K cameras to start with, and it looks slick. It really does
look slick, and it sounds slick.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm a fan of a few of the video bars on the market, but this is definitely one of them. And if you are a Shure person, all your meeting rooms have Shure audio, and you need a video bar, you're obviously going to gravitate toward this because you know Shure and you love Shure already and you trust Shure already. So, it seems a very natural fit, and it seems a very natural direction for Shure to go into. I've talked to them about this, about oh, you guys are getting into video. They don't want to be a video company. They want to be a meeting company. Yeah. When right now they're known as the audio company, but they're that's only one part of our business. So
yeah, they said that over and over again, is that they want to be the ecosystem for your meetings, the ecosystem for your connections.
Yes.
And they did a good job.
They did a good job. The booth is really great. I believe we have a booth tour online that you can check out. I think Gary did it. We also have all of their products that we just did little bits on, and then they have a media hub again, and Gary and I did yesterday's episode in there. The CEO of Yorktel Kinley came on the show with us to kind of talk about I don't know, they're a huge global integrator, so kind of talking about what he's noticing from the European side but also from the American side, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So yeah, I don't know that I've seen anything that has blown me away, or it's something that I haven't seen before. I toured Samsung's booth yesterday, and they were showing, did you see what TV they brought to CES?
I did.
It was RGB.
Mini RGB.
Yes, they brought
RGB.
that here.
Yeah.
And that's impressive.
Very. And it's a technology that I'm learning more and more about. That's the first time I had seen one in person. And they had the ability to kind of look behind the scenes on that. A couple other folks at CES had that as well.
Yep.
And I am a big fan of OLED. Have been for years.
Yeah.
Because when I was in my 20s, plasma was a huge thing. It was the best picture that I have personally ever seen. OLED is the closest to plasma that we've got right now.
That's
not
actually true.
1,000 pounds. Mini RGB is really close to OLED to me.
Okay.
And OLED is expensive.
Yes.
It's
Mini
difficult.
RGB is also very expensive.
It is, but it's not as expensive as OLED.
That's true.
So, and it, for some reason, and I don't know the reasons, the production, the way you do production on mini RGB is not as difficult as OLED.
Okay, I gotta look some stuff up
Yeah.
about that, because he was talking to me and I was like, I don't know what that is, but I will look into it.
Yeah.
Samsung's booth was impressive. I got to go in Sony's booth. That was impressive. They've redone all of their Bravias.
Yep.
So that was cool getting to see those in person. The Crystal LED, of course, is always nice to see. Crestron's booth, we went in. They have like 5 brand new products,
Yep.
most of them for meeting rooms. You really like the auto calibration that they have now, which I kind of agree. I think that was the most impressive, but the most surprising was the compute.
The collab compute.
The collab compute.
Yeah, collab compute.
Because them getting into like meeting room computers, that's
Yeah.
a big deal. Epson has a switcher.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did not see that.
It's actually made for education, so it's made for teachers to be
Okay.
able to easily switch what's going on. It's like
Interesting.
very, very simplistic. They're not talking a lot about it, but it's like on the wall in there. I wanted to go see it in person after this. So,
Okay.
it's just like things that are surprising, but without being like earth-shattering,
Game-changing,
game-changing, right? Like
revolutionary.
none of the marketing terms. Like, I went to Planar's booth yesterday. Of course, gorgeous displays,
Yeah.
like the Layard Planar booth, and it was. They have their the Komodo series, which is chip on board,
Yep.
and it's gorgeous. They have their LCDs, they have their LEDs. Like, with Planar, the pitch keeps getting tighter, so It's like, at this point, you can't tell the difference to the eye, because everything, like, once you get below 0.7, to me it all looks the same,
I can see
because
that.
like your eye just can't.
Yeah.
Like, once it's so crisp, it's just crisp, you know?
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of installations in boardrooms and where they're replacing either projection or even flat panel.
Yeah.
Because they can make them bigger.
Yeah.
And the pitch is getting smaller. So
Yeah.
if you're sitting at the boardroom or you're sitting in a conference room, you can't. Your point, you can't tell the difference.
It's true. So, of course, Epson's booth otherwise is also really cool. They have like an art installation kind of showing how it's like using kind of mirrors and projectors, a little bit of projection mapping on these like multiple panels that they've hung around the booth, kind of showing like how cool art can be with projectors.
And projection mapping.
Yeah.
The Ross Video folks, they have just purchased an experiential company, and they were showing off projection mapping of Washington Monument
All right.
earlier this year
Cool.
using their technology,
Yeah.
and it was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
But you're right, using projection for art installations, or I think they called it architainment.
Okay,
So architecture,
architainment, I guess.
projection mapping.
Christie's doing that too. They have a projection mapping installation in their booth. I'm trying to think of who else. rAVe's booth is really cool this year. As you guys know, they have it's the partnership with Seiko Seiko,
Yep.
so that they do, LED on top of like a textured like wall. And they have like, it's very wooden looking and grainy this year, and then you turn the LED part on and it looks really cool. So they've had that for a few years, but every year it looks nicer, and they have that actually facing outward on their booth this year, which I think was really smart, because previously it was kind of hard to find it or find information about it, or like, what is this with rAVe? This looks so cool.
Yeah, they put it right on the aisleway, so people had to walk by it.
Because I do think people are looking for more artistic displays nowadays, especially in places like hotel lobbies, corporate lobbies. It's become more of a thing that like, you don't want a TV to fade to black, be off, and just be dark and not have anything on it. Even if you don't have content to show on it at that time, you still want it to look sleek, pretty, part of the room. So I do think a lot of manufacturers are leaning into that this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're the one thing about LCD direct view LED is that you can put it into any sort of configuration that you want.
Yeah.
And then the video processor will say, oh, this is in a vertical rectangle or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, I've seen a lot of like the video wall software and control a lot this year as well. Like a lot of like security, government installations, command and control. I'm seeing like a lot of vignettes in people's booths showing like, oh, this video wall is perfect for a control room. Like, look how tight the pixel pitch is, so that even if you bring up a huge graph, you can see all of that detail, even if you're sitting right there. So I'm seeing a lot of that too.
The other thing, you just said software, that reminded me, the other thing I'm seeing in nearly every booth is a software forward or software first approach.
Yeah.
From the hardware manufacturers. Well, now that can be anything from control to monitoring to other things. And they all have their own development teams that are producing their own software.
Samsung is kind of pushing its like digital signage content software this year.
Everywhere, almost every little kiosk they had, they were
pushing their own software. I can't remember what it's called. I'll have to go back and look, but I'm seeing a lot of like manufacturers that are primarily known for hardware being like, oh, and we do content software too, or oh, like look, it's really like Sony offers that too. They have like a content version for UC and one for digital signage that you can set up during the provisioning process. We're seeing a lot of those this year, so I think that that's really interesting.
And Sony also does something that a couple other manufacturers do. They call it one-touch provisioning, where you can
scan the QR code.
Offline, set up all the parameters, and then when you plug that in, it's automatically provisioned.
I will say the last thing that I've noticed about this show is that most of the manufacturers are pushing ease of use for the technical end user for day-to-day management of a lot of their products. I spent some time at AppSpace yesterday, and AppSpace kind of lives in that interesting gray area between like digital signage and UC. It's kind of like room technology, but like pushing messaging in meeting rooms, but also building management. They have an interesting integration with Microsoft Places, right? Is it Microsoft Places?
Yes.
I get Microsoft Places and Cisco Spaces confused in my brain. So I always confuse that. But yeah, they have an integration there so that you can see what's going on in the building. And I have seen a lot more like building management, building maintenance, facilities integrations with a lot of digital signage and UC tech here. So I think that's cool too.
Well, and AppSpace is another one of those companies that is also migrating towards software first, because they have a couple partnerships. I know one was with Neat, where you can take their software and put it on Neat hardware.
Yes.
Right? BrightSign has done that for a couple of years now too, where, oh yeah, we've made hardware in the past, and we still make hardware, but you can take the special sauce that makes our hardware special and put it on somebody else's hardware.
Yes. I also did the Google Beam demo for the first time this year.
And what did you think?
I liked it. I did like it. I just like, it's telepresence technology, isn't it? You know, and I've been saying I think that's what it is, but of course I wanted to be able to say that for sure once I got in there, and it is very cool. It is super 3D. I do like the spatial audio of it. Okay. I thought that was very cool. I think that is what HP's portion of it is, because it's Google Beam with HP.
I had it a second ago.
So when one person, so there are multiple speakers and microphone little pods, and when you lean in, you talk, it picks you up on this microphone, and the other person hears it in the speaker that is like where you were. Yeah. So I think that portion is very cool. I don't know about the practicality of it. I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around that.
It's a one-to-one, just like Telepresence.
Yes,
right?
It is a one-to-one. So when you buy this, you have to buy two, and they are very expensive. We were talking about this the other day, that, you know, if you want this, you have to be like one of those luxury fashion house customers that, you want to hold up a bag and see every, bit of detail about the bag. Or you have to be someone who's going to use this exclusively for interviewing potential candidates for jobs just day in, day out, because that is a really great alternative to like flying out every potential candidate for a job, because you do get a sense of who someone is in a meeting like that.
Another use case that we've heard is executive briefings, where the CEO is talking to the CFO, right? And they want to be able to communicate, or the CEO is trying to, is trying to mentor a younger employee. That would be a more personal connection than a traditional video conference.
But it's so expensive that I just don't know how many installations I'm going to see about it, like walking out in the world.
Yeah.
So it is cool. So if you have a chance to do the Google Beam and with HP Tech demo at some point, like definitely go do it, because it is a really cool demo. I didn't even get the full demo. I was there for like 2 minutes, but I was like, this is crazy. And it does look very 3D. So like the person giving me the demo, she held out like an apple to me, and I did immediately like put my hand out because I thought she was going to drop it. And I was like, this is weird.
A little bit.
So it is like, it's very cool. So I do recommend doing it. I just don't know, like, I don't think that the local industrious that we work in is going to invest in those. Like, it just takes a very specific type of clientele.
It does. And the ones that I'm hearing right now are Fortune 500, and Fortune 100.
The same people who were investing in Telepresence in 2003.
100%.
So, I did ask. I was like, isn't this similar to Telepresence technology? And the guy that I asked was like, what was that? I was like, oh, like from 2003? He was like, I wasn't in the industry then. But I was like, neither was I.
Neither were you.
I was 9, but I do know about it. See, I am young.
I got nothing. You are young.
I am young.
You are young.
He's been calling me old all week.
I have not been calling you old.
I did fall down in the shower, so that doesn't help.
And you complain about your aches and pains. And
yeah. I think once you get above age 30, you're just kind of in some baseline of pain, no matter what you do. Look, do you watch SpongeBob?
I do.
Have you seen that episode where that one guy is like a half-glass bones and paper thin? I feel like him. So on that note, Tim, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you. This has been fantastic.
This has been fantastic. We are going to run an interview that I did with Shure's head of strategic partnerships, kind of talking about what Shure has going on at the show. By the way, thank you so much to Shure for sponsoring our entire rAVe TV show this week. They are so good to us, and we are so grateful for them being big supporters of us, because we are big fans of theirs. So watch this interview, and then we're gonna run a Shure commercial, and then I'm gonna take you around on halls 6 and 7. I think those are like the last couple y'all haven't seen yet, and let's see if we can see through the fog machines. That'll be fun. So all right, we're gonna do that. Bye. Hey everyone, Steph Beckett here at ISE 2026 here at the Shure booth, which is very, very busy, by the way, so we are standing kind of outside of it, joined by Boris Siebert. First of all, how has the show been for you?
Wow. It's the only word that comes to my mind is wow. The energy at the show just in general is high, but the vibe that's going on in our booth right now is pretty outstanding. So yes, like things are wow.
And this is your first trade show since joining the Shure team, so how has that experience been?
It is, I'm having what I call Shure moments.
Yes.
And the experiences not only with our partners and relationships, but the storytelling from our partnerships and from our customers have really provided these moments where I'm going, this is what Shure's about.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a fantastic company, and what an announcement, by the way. Like, literally rocked my world last week. They're like, by the way, hey, we have a video bar. We're in the video market now. And I was like, huh?
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So first of all, tell me a little bit about the decision to enter the market and what that says about, where Shure's heading.
Well, I think the biggest thing to say is we're providing a foundation for this AI workplace. I mean, just start with that concept and enabling customers to really enjoy those experiences and where we're going with that. And in short, I would say we're heading into becoming very much an innovation company versus just an audio experience company.
That's a great way of looking at the future of the meeting room, because while audio is the most important part of any meeting, because you do need to be heard for people to collaborate with you, it's so much more than just that. There's this whole like culture of collaboration. There's this whole like AI that everyone wants to use in meetings now. So I'm picking up what y'all are laying down.
Yeah, and at first you would say, okay, audio is important, but we're not just doing audio anymore. We are now the data input to the AI platform. So think now we're the eyes and ears of the meeting room, and we're now in the video camera business where we're doing articulation that allows us to have a front of room bar that's scalable and also deployable for IT, but at the same time not making compromises for those medium and large size rooms with one device in the front. But then when there is that complexity, you can know that we own the ability to then customize that solution. That's where the innovation comes.
Absolutely. And I got to sit in a demo for this the other day, and I noticed that it was very easy to use as well for those on-site teams and for those people who are running the meeting that might not have all of the technical know-how to change modes. It was so easy that I was like immediately like, oh, I could do it. So great.
It's so interesting you say that, because one of the things that, Julie Crawford that I work with, amazing, we had this really in-depth conversation on that very fact, because Shure makes a point of putting the person that's using our technology, whether it's on a stage, whether it's a podcast, or whether it's in a meeting, and we just got on this concept that, everyone deserves extraordinary meeting experience, collaborative experiences, and really AI-driven experiences, because AI, people will not know AI, but they will know the experiences that they're achieving through AI. And I think that's the whole point. So having that base and that foundation to enable those extraordinary collaborative experiences will become the expectation of tomorrow's meeting.
Which is what impressed me about this. Not that it has AI in it, but the way that the AI is being used is to make things easier rather than a lot of companies just putting AI in products because everyone else is doing it. Like, it seemed like you guys had like a clear vision for how this was going to make life easier in the meeting room.
Yeah, and in my role is strategic alliances. So we also realize that we need to partner to bring these experiences to life, right? Yeah. So not only the foundational pieces like Microsoft and Zoom, but also that ecosystem that has to bring this alive. Like, we are not a monitor company, right? And so this ecosystem that has to deliver these extraordinary experiences is also relying on this fact that we need to start with the customer in a meeting room. And how does the ordinary user have an extraordinary experience and go, whoa, I'm going to have a Shure moment. Right? And I keep on going back to that. I'm having Shure moments, but that's what we're delivering. Like, is this innovation that all of a sudden becomes seamless, but is really extraordinary as an experience.
So does your position kind of entail sitting down with current customers, seeing what they need and kind of asking them like how Shure can help?
I'm just going to go with yes, right? And so no matter how you would answer that question, Shure's starting point is the customer, and it is a deep 101-year history of doing that. And so there is no change in that design philosophy for this technology, or even the IntelliMix room kits, or even some of the stuff that you don't even know what we're doing, like the DCA 901, which is literally the biggest meeting space in the world, where we're changing the consumption of audio on the biggest stages in the world. So again, I think we're moving into very quickly a technology provider versus an audio company. So that's really the message, right? Like, I want users to have that Shure moment, that innovation, and then really realize that Shure moment is the power and unleashing the foundation of that AI experience. That they all of a sudden, it's like you have that moment, it's like, what just happened? And you're like, yes, I got it, right?
So based on what you've told me, Shure becoming that technology provider mindset, is that kind of where we can expect Shure to head next over the next year?
I think the biggest thing we're looking at is, where's the ball going to be in 3 to 5 years? And so that's where the strategic alliance moment happens, right? Where we're like, what we want the future state of meetings to look like for the user specifically, but don't forget about IT and AV, right? Because IT and AV, have to deliver that experience and manage that experience and make sure the uptime, the reliability, the security standards. One of the big announcements on this bar is a technical aspect of the bar. It's an MDEP device, which now allows a scalable solution that's supported by Microsoft's security and sustainability and that feature set that IT is really looking for. And we realized really quickly, it is a partnership to bring that to market. And I think IT is going to be delighted based off my 3 months of being in front of customers. They are like, check, check, you're meeting all my check boxes. Get me one of those bars so I can go validate it and let's go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, last question I have for you, and it's a very easy one. Where can people find more about Shure?
So many different places. Obviously, come to the booth at ISC, but I think, you know, talk to your Shure rep, talk to your Shure partner. Our Shure partners are super excited, and that will be my last point, right? Our Shure partners are AV partners and they're IT partners, and both IT partners and AV partners are coming together right now to learn each other's world. And so come to us, obviously at Shure.com, but go work with your Shure partner. Come to us as the Shure representative, but super excited about engaging.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Boris. It was nice meeting you.
I really appreciate it.
Of course. And don't forget on our side as well, go to ravepubs.com/ISC for all your ISC 2026 news. Again, I'm Steph Beckett, and we'll see you next time.
Every team deserves an extraordinary meeting experience, but sometimes obstacles get in the way. That's why we created the Intellimix Bar Pro with powerful video performance for more clarity, and with AI camera framing that keeps everyone in focus, so no one's left out of the picture. Designed for IT, secure, cloud managed, simple. The bar that removes barriers.
This is the show floor tour of Hall 6. Then we're going to walk across to Hall 7. Hall 6 is all audio, so not going to spend a ton of time in here because it's speakers. The good thing about these is listening to them, not really looking at them. But here's the WorkPro booth. We got a few lines of outdoor out here. As you can see, we're going to walk over here because I did want you guys to kind of look at Opus Technologies. Clement was on our show the other day. Opus does a lot with Auracast, assistive listening, and kind of working in that space. Listen Technologies does that too, but we don't have a ton of companies in our industry that do that, so definitely check that out. I'm gonna get my shooter to get a little closer to Opus Technologies over there so you guys can see their Auracast line and all that they're doing. But yeah, he talked about that on the first episode of rAVe TV, the one that we did at Data Video's booth. So definitely go back and listen to that if you want to learn more. And then over here behind me, we have Void. They're very futuristic in terms of speakers. I've listened to them before, so if you want to get the full effect, you definitely have to listen to them. But they're very like chrome, very futuristic, very sleek. But yeah, they were nice to me. One time, I just sat at their booth for 30 minutes because I was tired one show. So shout out Void for letting me do that. So this is a audio distributor. We're gonna go over here because they have SoundTube stuff at their stand. And SoundTube's pretty cool. I've talked about them before. They do some home theater, but they also do a lot of pro stuff as well. Full lines are right here. But the cool thing about SoundTube is their speakers are BAA compliant, not all of them, but just certain lines. And what BAA is the Buy American Act, which means that a certain amount of components had to be made and assembled in America. So for installations that are really, really strict, even stricter than TAA compliancy, SoundTube's audio stuff can handle that. So that's a little bit of Hall 6. Let's spend more time in Hall 7 because that's where all of the fog machines are and, you know, all the stuff that everybody likes looking at. This is actually really busy. This is the last day of the show, by the way. And usually by this time, it's like barely anyone is here. But as you can see, that's clearly not the case. So I am pleasantly surprised by how busy this has remained. So we're gonna go in here and just see where things take us. There are a lot of light shows. I saw one, I think, on this side, so let's try this first. Over here at the, I don't know how to pronounce this Ireton? So let's come over here and see if their light show is going on. They were playing Purple Rain earlier, so that was cool. All right, oh yeah, here we go. All right, let's come look over here at what this looks like. Oh yes, it must be about to start. Okay. Yeah, check this out. I don't know if that's a loose man or if he's supposed to be there. I guess we'll find out. Is he gonna get blasted? Oh, watch your head. All right, he's gone. Okay, nice soothing ocean sounds, period. I kind of wanted a little more something. Ooh, okay, here we go. Now we're cooking. This is about to go. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go look at some more. Sound. All right. I don't know a lot of these brands like first name basis. Like I do a lot of the other booths in Hall 3 and Hall 2, but I do always learn a lot when I'm here. I don't know. There's something very cool about like the live events, rental, staging, lighting section. I like that they kept the overhead lights off in here to kind of let the lights really shine. Oh yeah, we know Pro Lights. Let's take a look over what they're doing. A lot of movable heads, moving headlights, and I like that everyone's actually showing what they can do. Like they have them down here on pedestals, but they're also all around. So I always think that that's actually what's really valuable in Hall 7 is like seeing how this can actually be brought to life during a concert. So that's pretty cool. We got the Elation booth over here too. Looks like they're about to have a presentation. So, new tracking solution. We got some Fresnel lights over here. A moving head. And then we have like the rigging section back here. So let's go check this out. So, of course, you can't really do stuff on a like live performance without moving things around. And I guess they're showing how heavy that this can yank something up. So that's pretty cool. Well, all right, come on. That said no photography on that booth. Sorry. We got more light presentations here, which is really cool. Oh yeah, Chauvet or Chauvet, I'm not really sure how you pronounce them, but they always have a really good presentation. What's up? All right, we got some, I sense a fog machine. I sense it, it's nigh. Oh yeah, all right. Here's the source. Oh, and it's coming through a pipe. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, we got fog, we got lights. That's why it's very smoky in here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, yes. And watch as I disappear into the night. Did you see that magic trick? I disappeared into the fog. Let's go see what this is. This looks cool. So, okay, this is a very interesting conglomeration of LEDs. I don't even know how someone conceptualized, what if we make them into a snake? Period. Now, all right. This is pretty cool. So, these look like the same kind of tiles that are in like LED floors. But yeah, okay, so I guess there's gonna be like a full show in like 5 minutes. So I'm guessing these lights are gonna go crazy. But yeah, this has been a little brief tour of Hall 7. So thanks for joining me. We probably got a product video of this, so make sure to check it out. And thanks for following along with our ISE 2026 coverage. I'm Steph Beckett. This is rAVe TV. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you back home. So, bye.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.